You know, I kind of jinxed it last time, and PB ended up losing what they consider their best map, but hopefully that doesn't happen to Honor as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the old Orgless, which looks very different from the Orgless right now, they were a huge Kafe team, and Kafe was their territory. You couldn't beat them. But this is a pretty different team, a very different team, so it may be shaken up, and, well, the first ban is a great way to shake it up. Taking the buck off the board seriously changes how teams are going to play bar and cocktail, or if they are going to be able to play bar and cocktail. Really on the attacking side, right? If you want to go for those cocktail executes, those, I mean, I'd love to see a cocktail execute. They often work out more than the other side, I'd argue. You really need a buck for that. And you're not going to have one. You're not going to have a Hibana either, but that's going to come into effect a little bit more when you get downstairs to kitchen and service.
Yeah, and that means, as well, Thatcher is up. However, this is a big Mav map too, so I don't know. It depends on a team's comfortability with Thatcher. Some teams, you know, even when Thatcher is up, just opt not to take him anyway. They're more comfortable without him. They have strats without him. It's whatever. A lot of teams will probably still bring Mav anyway just because he's got nades, and you can bring him, Sledge, and Iana. We will see what Honor go for, and yep, they are going to be taking the Maverick, throwing the Thatcher by the wayside. Wait! Maybe not. Pox has switched to Ace. Are we going to have a 6th pick? From Zoph to Thatcher. There we go. All right, I lied. Looks like Honor do, in fact, prefer that Thatcher. Another interesting ban off the board, too, is Maestro. Maestro, so far, actually throughout the whole day, hasn't really been played a lot. I don't think he was played at all in the first game. He was played a little bit, I think mainly by PB in game 2, and he again saw very little play on map 3. And now we won't see him again. And Maestro's typically a pretty damn powerful operator. It's strange seeing so little of him across a whole play day.
Yeah, it's kind of like a couple of weeks ago, teams just decided, let's just stop playing Maestro. And, you know, it obviously hasn't seen a complete removal of him at all, but it has been a shocking decline in the last few weeks, few months, and it'll be interesting to see if he comes back, if it's revitalized at all, or if teams are really looking to just rely, especially on a map like Kafe, rely on those Valk cameras to provide that intel. But yeah, it is surprising to see him banned, especially because teams usually rely on him so much here. But we are going to see the Bandit, which I do think is the first time at all today we've seen that. And usually those will, you know, be pretty important for this first floor defense, especially now that you are going against a Thatcher. It makes a good bit of sense to bring out the Bandit, because if you're in the right position at the right time, maybe you could get a cheeky little Bandit trick off instead. But for right now, that's going to come a bit later in the round. The priority for Honor as they begin their attack is to work their way top down, or at least I would assume so. Axe is the only one at the moment actually on this top floor, or at least indicating they want to pressure this top floor, and everyone else tucked close outside the big bakery and might look for something a little bit more direct.
Yeah, I like bandit tricking. It's something that really only comes into play when Thatcher is on the board, because, you know, a Maverick can just circumvent it, and bandit trick is your main way of dealing with Thatcher. And sometimes bandit tricking can be really cool. What's going to be imperative for Honor is clearing this top floor and using their sledge to ensure that this bandit trick can't happen from prod, because you can't really deny it here on this wall unless you take control of the vertical. Oreo is the first player in the match to be damaged, down to about half HP, followed by Barring, but here's the play from the Bandit. He'll be able to destroy some of the ace charges, not before they get one tick off, but Pox is now trapped in the corner. He'll be down by prod, but it's the first kill for Ferda onto Gotcha. That ends up being what starts this game. Pox has not been finished off. He's actually fairly safe in this corner, and a large avenue has been opened up in the wall. Prod eventually finishes him off, and Prod has not been refragged just yet despite being low HP, but Axe finds the second onto Oasis, denying one of those C4s and claiming the man advantage for his team. Both Prod and Barring are just 1 HP, so everyone on Honor rather healthy, but that's not going to stop Prod from getting a headshot before he's traded. Young Alex still playing coat check, finds a long angle as well, and that's going going to be a 2 versus 2. The man advantage Honor had has started to slip away, or has already slipped away. And Oreo, watching the flank, does not catch young Alec. That was a much-needed kill, and there's someone playing Harry Potter whom he doesn't seem to be aware of, but Barring is full blind. Here's the push from Oreo. They know exactly where he is. Never mind, there was a drone right on top of him, and that puts young Alec in the clutch. But young Alec is a demon. We know exactly what he's capable of. He gets 1 kill. He's only got to find 1 more. This is what young Alec does best, and Oreo needs to hunt for this kill. He's got no info. He doesn't know where the hell Alec is, and Alec ends up clutching it out. A huge round for the Malusi gives Orgless round number 1.
Wow, what a back and forth round. I mean, all eyes were on Prod. At least both my eyes were on Prod. Just sitting in the most high-risk position you possibly could, challenging non-stop on the big bakery breach. Doing it so much that everything else about the round was seemingly an afterthought. I mean, it was all about Prod holding down that corner, dealing with Pox first, and Pox eventually got finished off, and actually finding several more kills. And at the very least, even if those kills had not been found, doing a good job of applying a lot of pressure. A high-risk play, but one that paid off and allowed Orgless to get the advantage back. The advantage that Honor took very quickly in the round, seizing a couple of nice opportunities. So a great recovery from Orgless, taking Kitchen. And now they'll head upstairs to a site that could very well be even more secured now that the buck has been taken off the board. But the one addition we've seen a lot of in this recent season, of course, the addition of Flores being introduced to the competitive pool. That has really changed the way you play this site. All those deployable shields that generally become impossible to deal with on this top floor, well, you now have a Rotero drone to throw down. You can just drive it towards that shield, blow it up, and even blow up the defender sitting behind it. It has really changed up the viability of this top floor, and I think that's why we've seen a lot of teams, like Orgless, start off on the kitchen as their primary objective.
Reinforcements in place.
I just thought of something. You could technically deny a bandit trick with the Flores drone, too.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's there for
necessarily,
a couple of seconds duration, so you can get the charge down.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need top control to get a Flores in. So hey, maybe we'll see Honor decide to stick it, you know? One Flores drone could clear the bandit batteries off the wall, another one could halt Prod from putting down his battery. That could be cool. I want to see that. I don't know if Honor will adjust, though. They might as well just pick up the Nomad once it comes down to it. There were a lot of missed opportunities for Honor in that round. It felt like while they had a lot of bases covered, they didn't have all their bases covered. There was just a couple positions left uncleared for Orgless that ended up really doing them in. 2 Flores drones have gone out from Oreo, both through the skylight, and if I'm not mistaken, both were shot from Barring. So not the best use of the Rotero drones just yet, but finally, they'll be able to go through, and it's in fact used to clear B1 rather than a piece of utility itself. So that's no longer a safe haven, an aggressive safe haven for the defenders to play behind. The shields are still up, and there's 2 of them. And Acts no longer has frag grenades. This is largely going to fall upon the last drone from Oreo, and the nade's still in Ferda's pockets. And that's not a lot to work with if any gets sucked up by the absorber.
Well, Oreo, I think he's run out of Rotero drones now, so you are very limited in terms of the utility you actually have here. A couple of flashes are going to go in towards the bathroom to clear out that position. There goes that nade, and I expect there goes the shield with it. Kill's going to come out, though, and that's going to be Gotcha credited with that kill. Great work on the pulse below. Pretty textbook stuff, but Honor just not covering their bases enough. Didn't know he was there, or just didn't bother to clear him out. That means your Thatcher is gone, but we've already seen those EMPs utilized, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to be losing Surf here, but it now means you are down a man against 5 with 50 seconds to go, and this site, and it often ends in a flurry of engagements, just comes down to who's going to play the trades and who has the advantage going into the closing moments. Alec making this one even more certain as Ferda has now fallen. Gotcha a second, a third now on the round. Pox will answer, but now in the middle of the objective with really nothing but a diffuser in hand, will hope to bring this one back. Finds one onto Oasis. That's a good kill, but now planting right around the corner from somebody in Freezer, somebody in Cocktail, a deadly crossfire that he has walked himself into, and Orgless take 2 in a row.
If I'm not mistaken, that was a double for Alec and a 3K from Gotcha, starting off with the C4 and retaking upstairs to find 2. And Honor, I really have to put it down to the poor utility usage. First from the Flores, second from the burns on the shield. I don't know if, everyone in Twitch chat agrees, but I think it's pretty safe to say the shields, if you're pushing piano, the shields on Pixel and Bathroom are probably a little bit more important than opening B1. That's just a thought. Disagree with me if you will. But I think in my mind, B1 is not nearly as important as those shields. Oreo used 3 Rotero drones to clear B1. Then he was left with 1 drone to clear either of the shields. And it got shot. That's not great. Axe also used all of his nades, and not 1 shield was cleared. And that was left up to Ferda, and I don't even know if the shields got cleared by the end of the round because they were all just kind of forcing themselves through Heaven and Cigar. And now we're starting off with the TK. That's unfortunate for Orgless.
We're calling for the rehost, but we'll see if actually that goes through.
No, I think he just said that. I think he just said. Oh wait, did he ask for a rehost?
Yeah, he did, but we're waiting on that. But for right now, the round stands as played, and they'll do it without prod. We'll see a reading room hold. No, we're not. That has been confirmed, so we are going to see the rehost come on through. Bit of an interesting situation there. I'm not sure what happened. I'm curious what the clip Barring has, but apparently there was some sort of teleporting thing and somebody got shot. But we'll see the reading room hold later. For now, it will be a waiting game as we figure out what exactly Honor have to do to really change something up here. 2 rounds is not a ton to go off of here. It was Kitchen first, Bar and Cocktail second, and the last one, Bar and Cocktail, looked a bit more troubling than the first.
Yeah, the first round was really just them not covering all their bases, like we said. Prod playing really close to the breach was able to find Pox. I mean, sure, he was refragged, but it was Alec left unchecked. He was able to get a kill in coat check, and the last 2 players of Acts and who was it? Acts and Oreo, I think it was.
Yeah,
were not playing together. Despite Acts getting diffuser, Oreo was not right behind him, even though they knew Alec had rotated back. Because remember, before Oreo got the kill on the Mozzie Harry Potter, he actually saw the Malusi cross. They knew that Alec was in sight, and yet Acts still pushed into prep solo despite the open wall, despite Oreo being, within, if you just gave Oreo a couple seconds, it was within refrag potential. So there's a lot of missteps for Honor in the first round. The second round, though, was just a calamity of errors on the utility side of things, forcing Honor to funnel in, and Orgless were more than ready, namely Gotcha and Alec, who found all 5 kills. So heading into reading, where not only do you need to make sure all of top floor is cleared and all the avenues are cut off, so you need to cover all your bases, your util clear also needs to be on point. So unless they've fixed both their issues from round 1 and round 2, reading could be a pretty tough nut to crack.
Yeah, because you have to combine kind of the combination of both of the sites, right? It's not kitchen because you don't have to go all the way down to the first floor, but it does have that element of vertical play and the element of occasionally some hard destruction is needed to really get your way into that site. And in the same way, it's a lot like Bar and Cocktail. Why? Because you have to take Bar and Cocktail control. You actually have to clear the exact same amount of utility. There are going to be deployable shields all the way over in Cocktail. And sometimes we see that defense actually extending over closer towards Piano, maybe putting some reinforcements on that freezer to Piano wall, on that bathroom wall. Don't usually get as bold as putting like a full shield setup in bathroom or in freezer, but we've seen it before. We've seen Aruni gates set up there as well. You combine that with a castle, that is a lot of utility to clear. Something that, as you just highlighted, Harrison, Honor struggled with in the last round and are going to have to remedy here. So I expect we'll see the Flores again. I didn't quite take mental note of all the operators before the rehost. I know
I did
we
not
saw the
either.
castle in play on the side of Orgless. That's going to be one big factor, but generally is on a reading room hold. I don't know if we saw the pulse though, and that was a pretty key staple of that previous hold, and really why Orgless had so much intel at their fingertips constantly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they had the pulse. The only ones I remember was the mute Jaeger and what was it? Mute Jaeger and Mira, I think they had.
Mhm.
And the castle. Okay, actually, oh, it's coming back on stream. I can look at the Twitch stream. Okay, so it was Aruni, Castle, Mira, Mute, Jaeger. So actually, that's something we didn't talk about. We talked about the Thatcher being left up. We didn't talk about the Mira being left up. Mira being left up on Kafe of all maps is pretty huge. She's damn powerful, especially on a reading room hold. So the reason why reading is probably Mira's best site is because, when you're on kitchen and you have a Mira, if the attackers clear top down, they can use vert to shoot your windows. If you're bar cocktail and you use Mira, the attackers can go from below or the rappel to shoot your Miras. On reading, though, they can't deny it from below because that sight. Reading is very powerful. It aids your cocktail defense. If you have a Rooney Gates, a shield, ADSs, and Mira windows upstairs, that is going to be a tough obstacle course for Honor to try and get through.
Castle barricades. I mean, you've got the whole thing. The whole
And
thing in terms of
and they
utility.
did not have the Flores.
Okay, so we're still seeing the 4 nades though, right? We got the Sledge and the Yana coming
The
in.
Sledge and the Iana, the Thatcher, the Ace, and then the Nomad.
Okay, so could be another struggle though. Could be another struggle. Thankfully, I mean, you've got the Sledge, so you don't need to deal with castle barricades with nades. You can do it the manual way by just taking a hammer to them. But a couple of issues could come in, right? You got to worry about the vertical. It's all going to rely on one player. That's something that I noticed early on. Around number 1, I was interested that the Zofia was switched off for the Thatcher rather than someone like a Nomad or a Yana. And of course, they bring a lot of assets. You want that Nomad in play because of those air jabs. And yeah, you want the nades and the ridiculous amount of intel that the Yana brings. But the soft destructive ability of a Zofia is tremendous. You've got breaching charges and those impacts. So even without a Sledge on both a kitchen attack and a reading attack, sometimes even if one of those players dies, you have that backup. But right now, you don't have a backup. It is going to come all down to your Sledge. If you get that pick early, because Sledge generally seems as more of that entry role, if you get that pick, if you're the defense, there you have it. That's probably the round because it all depends on vertical play, and you need to do a lot as attackers if you're going to avoid vertical. I mean, maybe you attack mining. Maybe you just kind of run in through pillars. You've got a lot to do and not a lot of options to actually get it done.
Yeah. I mean, luckily enough for Honor, they do have that Thatcher. So a well-placed Thatcher EMP could disable any ADSs covering the anchor positions upstairs, as well as an Aruni Gate to allow that utility to come through. So Thatcher can be used as kind of a temporary burn. And I'm just now realizing too, with the setup or with the operators that the defense is bringing, they don't actually have a shield. Because Mute C4, Mira C4, Mira used to have a C4, and I think they gave her procs. Castle, probably bulletproof. Aruni Barb, Jaeger Barb. Right? There's no shield. So that's, sure, there's still going to be a lot of utility upstairs, and the Mira windows are very annoying. But at least there's no shield that you have to deal with. So it's still going to be tough for Honor, but it's not as bad as if there was still, let's say if instead of a Mute there was a Goyo. And it looks like they are going to be extending into bathroom. So they are bringing this defense forward. Probably a Mira window in bathroom, maybe? Or they might just have the Aruni, the Aruni setup with someone playing in there. I'm curious to see where the castle barricades go. Actually, are they extending into Piano and Cigar? Oh yeah, wow, they are pushing this defense forward all the way. Oh wait, the mirror window is... Hold on. Is that mirror window on the freezer wall?
No. Okay.
No, okay. Dude, I saw the opening and it was the
punch holes,
perfect...
yeah.
Dude, it was the perfect shape for the mirror. I was like, what the hell? No, okay, so yeah, it's one in bathroom, and I imagine, yeah, okay, one in cocktail facing the, facing cigar. Okay. This is really far pushed forward from Orgless. No wonder they don't have a shield.
Well, while that's going on, you've got the classic prod position. I feel like we saw this.
Ah, yes.
Yes, we saw this once the other day, and this worked out.
Cigar.
It worked out too well. We'll have to see how Honor deal with this. Something they've definitely seen before, but up against prod and with this ridiculous Castle Aruni combo we've got going on, I really do wonder how they're going to actually get it done. Barring as well. I mean, this is a very aggressive positioning right now from Orgless, and I kind of wonder if avoiding this is Honor's best course of action, right? If you just try to pummel your way in through pillar, maybe pummel your way in through mining, because this right here is a lot of work to do, and they haven't quite got boots on the ground yet. They haven't even jumped into this third floor, and only 90 seconds remain here. They're going to begin the process. Of course, that is a Yana drone. Now an actual person is going to drop, and Surf is going to get absolutely fried. Prod playing this position perfectly. Now a second victim, but can't quite finish it. The C4 getting caught. Axe actually getting that kill. And Barring, because of a castle barricade conveniently placed by the defense, cannot support his teammate or collect that kill. So a 4v4 as we get down under a minute to go, essentially, and no progress has really been made from Honor.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Castle. Sometimes, depending on how the attackers are taking, the Castle can actually work in the favor of the attack by isolating your players or even funneling yourselves. Now, I do think it was a good point that you made that, you know, there is a lot dedicated to this top floor. There were about 3 players, I think, from Orgless upstairs. If Honor just went for the blitz on the site, it may have worked out. But again, that's pretty risky considering the floor holes and the hatches that Orgless have open. Now, they did go 1-for-1, but you've lost your Thatcher, and my god, Barring is going to destroy Oreo off that angle. Luckily, Axe is there for a trade, but even man count with Ferda already having been downed is not a good situation for Honor, especially now that I'm just noticing, with only 15 seconds left, 10 seconds left now in a 3 versus 3. They're just gonna have to barrel right into the site. Gotcha is playing very close on the doorway, but he's actually down and finished off by Axe. Here comes the rush in, pistol out, Pox downs Alec. What is happening? 0-0, but Axe gets the kill. What happened to the defense of Orgless? Honor, they figured they just gotta make a play. They don't have time for vert, they don't have time for setup. They just bum rush right into reading a 90 and end up finding the frags.
Wow. Oh, Honor had no business winning that, for the record. They had just no business at all. I don't like singling out individual players for egregious mistakes, but I think this time I gotta mention Gotcha here. Very aggressive. Way too aggressive in the middle of reading room. There were only 10 seconds left on the clock, and it looked to me like Gotcha thought, there's no way my teammates even get back to the site to be killed in the next 10 seconds. Why don't I just throw my body at the problem, distract them, and it'll be fine. Little did he know, both of his teammates were quick on the draw. They were right back on the site where they should be, and Honor pummeled through Gotcha because he wasn't much of a problem, and then took down the other 2. Incredible stuff. Pox with a pistol in hand, just doing the work. I don't know how you get that done.
He was carrying case. If Pox lost the pistol fight, that would have been round over.
If Pox had shot one more bullet in the pistol fight, that would have been round over. I mean, he was at 0-0 when he put the diffuser down.
That was insane. I mean, I guess if you're gonna take a round back after the 2 you just lost, that's the way to do it. That was incredibly close. That reminds me of like every single round from the Honor Lenny game, where it seemed like all 9 rounds it could have gone either way. So Honor, I would imagine they're happy about the victory, but they're probably not happy about how they played it because it could have gotten a lot better. Feeding nearly 2 kills to Prod holding the cigar cubby is, you know, not great. And having to just funnel through sight after Barring takes out your Nomad because you have no time is also not great. So hopefully they're able to amend those mistakes next time they attack into reading. But now it's Kitchen once again, a round where Honor seemingly had everything going for them, but now are starting it off very poorly as Pox just sprints right through the restaurant window into the waiting arms of an MP5.
Yeah, after that victory, we're now seeing some clumsy mistakes come out. Didn't bother droning or didn't bother thinking about the player that's in VIP. Very common position. They should very much be aware of this, and jumping in the window, you've got to be aware of that VIP player. Gotcha now actually joining his teammate over here in this whiskey bar area, spotting out 2 players now pushing in the reception area and just shortcutting through code check, avoiding VIP, avoiding whiskey bar completely, but now you run the risk of getting massively flanked at a moment's notice. Gotcha has fallen back to the double door of the site, so he is in a safe position, and look who's here to support. Barring has joined the fray. Thankfully for Honor, Surf is still in the mix, fragging out onto Oasis, but Barring now gets a second. This one onto Ferda, only one more player over on this reception side, because they have slowly but surely been deleted. Gotcha with the last kill, and Orgless, the most decisive round yet.
And what was that on? It was all on a mist drone. Honor completely unaware of the fact that Alec was VIP. Because not only was it a kill, right? If it was just like, oh, let's say he killed like Surf or Ferda or something, it would have kind of been like, oh, we just lost the first pick in kind of a stupid way. That sucks, but whatever. That was impactful because it dropped a diffuser in the middle of restaurant. That is why Honor lost that round. They can't just move on and decide, all right, we're not going to take VIP. They are now forced to clear that position. And after Alec calls, hey, guys, I dropped case. Gotcha comes in to support. Barring comes downstairs red to support. Everybody from Orgless now focuses on the whiskey bar hold even more than they had before. Even Axe, trying to clear Alec out of that position, was getting pressured by someone on white stairs. Gotcha's able to get a kill into reception. Barring finds 2 coming down red. Every single time Honor tried to grab a foothold to recover the case, someone from Orgless was there to stop them and completely do away with any progress the attack had made. Honor, while racking up issues throughout the first couple rounds, Kitchen not having all the angles covered in overt play. Or the first time. Bar, poor utility clear. Reading, just funneling. Now we have Kitchen, the second Kitchen, which is an issue of poor drone work. Every single round, it has been a different issue from Honor, and we're going to need them to all be patched up if they want to take a victory over a team like Orgless.
Yeah, this is not the start that Honor were looking for, excuse me. And, well, the good thing is they have a chance to remedy that. They're heading upstairs again to attack Bar and Cocktail. And what's interesting is they've done away, now 2 rounds in a row, with the hard breach entirely. Until this point, or until the last round, Pox had been on the ace as the hard breach player here, but instead it switched off to the Maverick. So, of course, they still have the hard breach. I don't mean they've removed it completely, but they still... They only have the close range, limited capability of the Maverick. You don't have that piece of utility you need to throw from one of these stage windows over towards the freezer wall anymore. You actually have to get up close and personal and risk being swung at any point. Prod, who is eager as always to hold his humidor cigar box position, will be spotted out as he rotates in, and good thing for Honor, they had Surf in that position ready to collect that kill. Gotcha now. Again, feeling very frisky here, wanting to get aggressive on this window, and he just might. Thankfully for Honor, just Axe narrowly avoiding that, but I don't think they know Gotcha's position. Oreo getting shot out from about, he doesn't know where. A drone's going to have to go out to identify this position, but Gotcha, although he is probably a dead man pretty soon, he's doing quite a bit of damage to this attack that has been completely stalled out now.
Not damage in terms of HP or utility, damage to the clock. Look at this, 55 seconds left for Honor to work with. Gotcha is still in piano. There's still castle barricades and a Rooney gates up. There's still shields left alive for this defense. And Barring has retaken Cigar, and he just finds Surf sitting on a drone. What? Surf has no one with him, and he's sitting on a drone. And despite cover from Skylight, Baring is still able to just walk through Piano and kill him. Now Baring will once again post up inside of Cigar, ready and waiting to fight Ferda, who's on the floor. Oasis will get a double kill with his FMG9. Baring gets another. Pox swinging into heaven gets one, but Baring's looking for his third kill of the round. Pox is just on 1 point's worth of HP. And this is going to be near undoable with only 15 seconds left. Case dropped right under the skylight. It looks like Honor went for a skylight drop, and there it is. A 3K for the castle, a 2K for the smoke, and Honor are completely shut out of Piano.
Yeah, that was another decisive round from Orgless. Honor just not doing enough to take rounds. The only round they were able to secure was Orgless just not doing it. Not doing the thing. The thing being playing sensibly. But this time they've cleaned it up, right? They've cleaned it up 2 rounds in a row, and they've taken their cleanest rounds yet. And Honor just kind of seems stuck. That's not a typical hold per se, but it certainly isn't foreign to a team like Honor, and they just seem unable to approach that on, and I'm going to quote you again, Harrison, one of Honor's best maps, or the best map that they have here. So your Jinx game is pretty strong today, I gotta say.
I guess I should just ever say that again about any team. We could have like SSG on Chalet, and I will avoid saying that.
All right. To be fair, I did the same thing about Parabellum, so you know, it's fine.
That's true.
10 seconds to go.
Honor have just, again, a different issue every round. What happened on that bar round? They just... I mean, they killed the guy in Cigar. I'm a little bit confused as to why they didn't turn Cigar control into Piano control, because there wasn't really a lot stopping them from doing so. It's a little bit of odd decision-making, I guess I'll say, going for a skylight drop instead of just opening the Cigar barricade, because opening the Cigar barricade would make it impossible for Gotcha to play there, make it easier to clear the shields in bathroom than Pixel, and everything just kind of falls into place. But Honor decided they didn't want to do that, ended up not working out. Once again, Honor will be tasked with clearing this top floor before working their way down to Reading. Last time they won this site, it was... well, they really shouldn't have. But now they don't have to deal with Prod holding Humidor, at least. They do have to deal with more C4 presence, a Cade, and yet again, these mirror windows staring down anyone pushing Piano.
But it is a very different hold because we're not seeing as firm of a hold in Piano itself and Cigar, right? It's not only Prod that's different. I think we saw Baring, who was just sitting in Piano, much like he would on a cocktail bar defense, on that last reading room hold. So we're seeing a little bit of a difference here, and we're also seeing Ferda struggle to get his Yana drone in the window, but thankfully that will regenerate rather quickly. And they'll begin this take. I think Honor are not going to shy away from a possible dining push this round, knowing how tough it is to clear upstairs. At least I'd hope so. And based on their positions, I think that might be the case. However, not everyone on their team is on the same page. Oreo would rather just let his teammates handle this one, as he will die and be cut down for the remainder of this round, thanks to, again, good top floor play. But Honor do have a foothold in mining right now, in train room as well, and they are moments away from possibly pushing on into this site. Their one worry, that's the White Stairs player of Prod.
Yeah, Prod can cut down anyone moving through the fireplace, and they've actually got another worry. It's Gotcha downstairs with a pre-placed C4, gonna try and blow up Train, but he won't find a single body. But Baring is there to find one before Ferda refrags Prod. That's your white player now dead, and there's a couple nades coming in. That'll force Baring down into pillars. The kill gonna come through? Yes, it does. Pox and Acts, they both pinch him, and now it's even man count. 3 versus 3. They've got a Mav line in the reading wall as well, so that's going to be dangerous for the defenders to try and rotate through. But look at this position from Gotcha. He's just inside of Train, and he's misdroned. Ferda goes down. Advantage back in the favor of Orgless. There's still an upstairs player from Alec as well. He can deny the doorway, but they don't even need it. Gotcha's still playing by mining. The nade going up, but Pox overexposes himself, and it's a 5-1 half for Orgless as once again, Honor do not clear what they need to clear. They try and take a shortcut, and it bites them in the back.
It's halftime. I'm not going to count Honor out of this one. And just got word that they'll be taking a timeout in order to remedy some of those problems as well here. So clearly a lot needs to change. But the reason I'm not going to give up on Honor quite yet is they have been exceptionally strong. I'd say very impressive week after week. And I'm not going to count them out on the defensive side here. Everything is changing now, right? They don't have to deal with these very, very advanced setups from Orgless on these top floor holds anymore. Now it's their turn. And to force Orgless to run through that very same checklist. It'll be interesting to see how Orgless deal with it, because Honor, as we saw, pretty much in 6 out of 6 rounds, struggled dealing with it. Really did struggle. The one round they took, it was a fluke. Simple as that. They need to clean it up. It feels a lot like 0-6, although they do have one round on the scoreboard. The momentum. Honor have none of it. They're probably not playing confident right now. They need to find a way after this timeout to regroup and just get that back right away.
Luckily enough for them, they are now on the defense. Largely considered to be the advantageous side on Kafe. And that probably was just proved by Orgless. They corroborate that theory. We'll see within the next couple rounds if this is a heavily defensive-sided Kafe or if it's an Orgless-sided Kafe. Honor bringing the Goya as their only 2 shields. No smoke for their reading room defense just yet. And no Aruni. So all they have protecting these are going to be the ADSs. And look at how much clear there is from Orgless. Zof, Iana, Sledge, they are not sacrificing any of those bits of utility for the Thatcher. They figure, hey, we don't need it. They might be bringing a Cade, but we do not care. We do not care. In fact, they're bringing the Thermite, too. Thermite being still popular. Different philosophy than we had from Honor. So they'll be probably focusing more on the walls. Honor, I don't really think we saw breach much other than the bake wall. And then I think it was the cocktail wall once on one of their bar takes. And like they mapped the reading wall once. And that was like the only hard breaching they actually did. Orgless taking the Thermite says to me that this is a major part of how they do their attacks. But Orgless currently have 2 people set on Snowbalk. One with a Gone 6 out, ready and waiting for the call from his team to blast open this barricade and rush into hell.
I think they're waiting for a sufficient distraction on the top floor, so Honor are all but convinced that there is going to be a traditional top-down clear. But that plan is still very much in effect right now. You still have Oasis in that position, and Barring is going to be happy to collect this kill here, but no! Pox gets up at the right time, looking at the camera, gets it, but look at this, Alec is in the middle of the objective. Now he looks towards the white stairs, he knows there is at least 1 player, but there are in fact 3, and they will retake with a vengeance. Axe will shut down Oasis, dropping the diffuser down in the middle of the bomb site. Alec can't do much here, so he'll just throw a nade out, hoping to cut them out, and it will work. Prod will finish off serve. Alec gets the kill onto Ferda, leaving Pox alone against 3. Nade comes his way, but it's the bullets from young Alec that deliver the final blow, and Orgless, a well-calculated rush, will pay off big.
Wow. Orgless coming up from white, in from 90, and in from hell all at the same time. Alec took very quick sight control. There was just nobody playing reading from Honor at all for whatever reason. And once Honor were like, oh crap, they're rushing, they've got sight, guys, they've got sight, we need to do something about it. They sent 4 people white. They sent 4 people white stairs. Pretty much their entire team. And you know how many Orgless players there were staring at white? About 3 or 4. And when you're limited to a single set of stairs to try and retake an entire bomb site that the attackers already have control of, that's probably not going to go well. Honor are now down 6-1. This might be the quickest game we have today so far, unless Honor can make it happen on the least played side of the map.
As much as this may look like Honor just not able to hold their own, it just really feels like Orgless are just something else this stage. I mean, they are ridiculously good right now. And I think Honor are now learning that the hard way. Didn't quite know what to expect coming into this match. Well, welcome to Kafe with Orgless. This is a typical sight if you're familiar with Last Stage, but if you're also familiar with Last Stage, you know that this is not the same team as Last Stage. Same name, but very different structure. So I guess Orgless, with all the confidence in the world and with 5 rounds to spare, can do just about anything they want to take this next round. Interestingly enough, Honor choosing to go to reading first off the rip on defense have gone with another interesting decision. They are going to, I think this is what, mining and dining now? So unorthodox sites that lend themselves very heavily to a rush or a very aggressive attack. It's a very bold move considering how confident Honor should know that Orgless are right now.
The other thing, too, I just noticed, after the rehost, at least, Oreo has not gotten a single kill. As one of the highest-rated players in CL right now and on his team, that is someone you need to be at least getting kills on the flank watch. But he has not been doing his duty, and he will die once again. 6 rounds in a row. No impact, at least on the scoreboard, from Oreo, as he is picked off early on from a nade from Gotcha. That's going to be exactly how Orgless want to start things out, because not only is that a C4 off the board, not only is that an early kill, that is a cocktail player dead, and the upstairs hold is oh so important. Gotcha gets another one onto Surf. 2 bodies from Honor fall, and there is just no response. Orgless are slowly taking this map control, slowly picking off these players, and Honor just don't have anything to say about it.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, this is... I mean, it's time for some sort of miracle play from Pox or something. Somebody needs to spring into action and bring this back, because it is looking rough right now. You'll have Axe just holding down Train, hoping that a mirror window could guide him to some frags, but now with the pressure from above, Gotcha just sledging open the floor. This is getting quite disastrous. Barring collects 1, Ferda has an answer. That's going to be 1. Axe takes down young Alex, so something is been found for Honor here. Orgless now cut down to 3 players against 2, only a 1-man advantage, and 40 seconds could quickly become 15 if you're not careful. An aggressive player, that's Axe inside of reading, hunting for this kill, and that is a big problem because Prod is ready for it. Now Oasis can comfortably get this bomb down, and Prod whips out the pistol and with a headshot, clinically delivers Honor straight to a 7-1 defeat. Orgless dominant on Kafe, one of the best maps of the day, so we thought. Orgless not allowing that to happen.